Got on a vision. Yeah, but we eat on the frame. Two minds, one mission. Elevating the game. Yeah, 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 yeah. Got on a vision. Yeah, but we eat on the frame. Two minds, one mission. Elevating the game. Yeah, yeah. From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, callers no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you already know, tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow. From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, callers no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you living for the art, then you already know. Tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow. Got on a vision. Got on a vision. Yeah, but we eat on the frame. Two minds, one mission. Elevating the game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, callers no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you living for the art, then you already know. Tune in with the squad, let the creativity flow. Yeah, yeah, From the lens to the cut, yeah, we callin' the play. Direct in the flow like we moving ballet. Calvo bring the story, every scene got soul. Yabu E painting light, every shot got gold. Behind the glass or behind the mic, we break it all down, every wrong, every right. This the spot where the real ones speak, where film meets truth every day of the week. We the shot, callers no cap, just facts. From the first frame roll to the final act. If you art, then you already know. With the squad, let the creativity flow.
All right. Hello, hello. We are here. We are here. 10, 10.
9,
Nope, 10,
9.
10. Episode 10.
Oh, episode 10. I thought we were doing the boys and
I
men.
know. 10, 9,
8,
7,
6,
5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom in the shot. No, thank you all for joining in. We have made it to episode 10, and I am so excited. Can we get some for episode 10? Yes, you all. It has been a journey. We thank you for tuning in with us each week to the Shot Callers podcast. Again, as you all know, I am Calvo, and I am here with my co-host
Sean
Yabui.
Yabui. Sean Kekel E Clown and Ole Makoto Yabui.
That's a name for you. I would say my full name, but I'm gonna save the jokes for later. But no, thank you all for tuning in. So last week we had a great conversation, y'all. If y'all did not tune in last week or missed last week, we broke down the differences between short films and feature films. It was a really good conversation. So y'all go back and listen to that exclusively on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And you can also go back and watch the live reruns on YouTube or on our Facebook page, the Shot Callers Podcast, where you are hopefully listening or tuning in with us today. Today, we have a special show. We will be diving into some topics around film, and I'm excited about that. But first and foremost, I have some announcements. So, coming up, this episode is not sponsored by, but we are sponsoring it. Episode 10 is sponsoring the upcoming festival, well, as a media sponsor for upcoming festival for Gulf Coast Culture Fest. Womp, 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 womp. Which will be taking place in Pensacola on Saturday, May the 31st. downtown Pensacola, where Culture Fest will be going on. You will be able to come out. It's a two-part festival. During the daytime, live entertainment, vendors, food trucks of all types. And also that nighttime, we will be celebrating the Film for the Culture Film Fest, which will be showcasing short films from diverse filmmakers from across the Gulf Coast and surrounding areas at 8 p.m. The best part about everything is it is a free event. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Say what?
Yep,
Free?
free. You know, our favorite word, especially mine, on this budget that I'm rolling with. But no, you all definitely come on out. It's gonna be a great time. Again, that is Gulf Coast Culture Fest. If you would like more information on how you could become involved in this festival or just the festival at all, visit the website gulfcoastculturefest.com. Also, shameless plug coming up real quick. As you all know or may have heard in previous episodes, I have been releasing a mini short film web series called The Peppermint Lady. We have dropped the first three episodes thus far. It drops weekly Sunday nights at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Force FORC 3 Studios YouTube channel. And the this coming weekend, we have a double whammy, double the double the trouble, double the fun. It's the right one. The Peppermint Lady has begun. Yeah, that reminds me of that. I was thinking about that Chris Brown commercial. I don't know if anybody caught that reference, but it's pretty good. But no, check that out this weekend, Sunday at 7 p.m. Again, episodes 4 and 5 of The Peppermint Lady will be coming out, and the mystery just continues to unravel. And yeah, it's a lot of dangerously sweet things coming your way. But let's, just jump on into tonight's episode. Sorry, I had to get those few announcements out the way real quick. We will just start tonight's episode with the real rundown. Yabui, I think I mentioned to you earlier, I'm a little late on the wagon, you all, but I did have an opportunity this past weekend, or actually a couple days ago, to go and see Thunderbolts. Not sure if anybody in the comment section has seen it, but prior to going to see it, I saw a lot of great reviews on it myself, so I had to go check out to it. Me personally, I had some little I don't know how I didn't have any feelings or expectations for the movie. Um, but I was impressed. It was good. And it is continuously doing great numbers at the box office. And so I'm excited for what it would do for me personally watching it. It is one of the better Marvel movies that have come out recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even taking in consideration the last Captain America movie that came out that was
I didn't
all
even
right.
watch that one.
It was
No?
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't it could have been better. It had a lot of potential to be greater than what it was. But we still stand for Cap. But Thunderbolts was good. It was
What about Thunderbolts? Did
well,
you like?
I liked it because I didn't know much about it. Like it was good action packed. It had a very surprisingly a very heartfelt story in the
Oh
center
yeah.
of it. And it took like some very deep themes, but like the action was good. It had a little comedy. All of the characters kind of meshed real well. And it just kept me interested. And so I don't know if y'all hear that through the mic or not, but a train's passing by.
Yep.
But no, it kept me just interested in the storyline, and I enjoyed it. It made Marvel fun again, if that makes sense. Marvel movies were really fun at one point, and
Yeah.
so yeah. Speaking of which, though, outside of Marvel, the latest drops that have been coming along is I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but the Superman movie dropped a new trailer that came out this
What?
past week. Yeah, it's James Gunn's Superman is coming out later on this year in July, but they dropped the official trailer for it this past week. It looks like a no, it deserved it. It looks like a lot is going on in the movie, and I'm gonna watch it. But
I'm old, bro.
it looks like a lot that's going on in the
I
movie.
seen the first Superman. in the movies when I was a kid.
With Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves. Shout out to how old I am. Another boom in the shot.
Boom in the shot.
Boom in the shot because I'm told I can't hold it up. So arthritis in the shot.
Oh man, really?
Yep.
Oh, boom in the shot. But no, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, Superman is not my favorite hero. But I do watch all the movies, and so I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. But like in this movie, they have like other, I guess you would consider them Justice League members. So it looks good. It looks interesting. I don't know if you've seen the trailer or not, but you should check that out.
I would pull it up, but I won't want to get
Oh yeah, demonetized.
demonetized.
But yeah, so y'all go check that out in your spare time. Other news, I'm really big on Sinners. Sinners is coming back to IMAX movies after doing so well the first time. So if you all miss seeing Sinners in the 70 millimeter, not millimeter, but what I'm trying to say, 70 mil IMAX, you should definitely go check that out. It will be back in theaters, running again in select cities from May the 15th. Oh, yesterday through the 21st. So yeah, definitely go run those numbers up because it's a good movie. Let me see if I have anything else to talk about. I know, people have been talking about different TV shows coming out. I personally have not been watching TV lately. I will say, I don't know if you listen to them, Yabui, or if anyone in the comment section who's tuning in has listened, but lately I haven't been watching TV. I've been listening to like audio podcasts, not similar to the podcast that you're listening to now, which I do kind of listen to some of those too, but like the narrative like podcast where it's like watching a TV show, but it's no visuals.
Oh yeah, I watched.
It's
I don't
like
know.
it's like people be
Gets
acting them.
addicting.
It does. Like I just be like, it allows me to just kind of like listen to it and not have to like diverge my eyes from the screen, but like still get this very immersive experience of like watching the TV show. It's this one that I've been listening to. No sponsors, but it's on Apple Podcasts called The Blackout. It stars Rami Malek. You know who that is?
No.
So he if you see him, but he starred in Bohemian Rhapsody. He also starred in so he has a movie that's in the movie theater right now called The Amateur. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that. But he was a villain in a 007 movie. Let me pull him up. You'll know who I'm talking about when you see him. But anyway, he stars in this podcast, and it's actually really good. You all go check it out. It's called the Blackout. I really appreciate. Are you looking it up?
Blackout.
Yeah.
What's the name of the guy?
Rami Malek. Rami. Yeah, this guy right here.
Oh, okay.
He played in like some things, but he's a good actor. So that's what I've been kind of doing. Yeah, have you heard any or watched anything recently?
Well, last night at midnight, I went ahead.
At midnight?
At midnight last night.
Oh, at midnight last night. Yes. This is what I was trying to set up. Have you watched anything new lately?
Yeah, this movie called Southern Village. Written, created, directed by Mr. Elrico Tunstall. And there's this other guy who shot the movie named Sean Yabui, DP, editor, sound, I don't know, everything. And we had a great assistant director, Miss Pearl.
Shout out to the.
Yep, shout out to Pensacola, 93 BLX.
Oh yeah, because they're in the movie as well. Yeah.
And everyone else who participated.
So pub it. Tell the people where they can watch it.
Apple TV.
Y'all
exclusive.
Y'all run it up.
Only $11.99. Ooh.
$11.99.
$11.99. I can't even talk.
Sound it out.
Wait, I'm just gonna take these headphones off because it's confusing me. It's $11.99 to get on Apple TV.
No, y'all check it out for real. It's a great film. Everyone involved did such a great job, and so Apple TV is where it's at, man. That's so big. I'm so proud of y'all.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. That's a lot of work, man. Hour and 40 minute full
That's
feature film, a lot of editing, a lot of collaboration, a lot of late nights.
that sounds what film is about, though. You know.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, this is so much better without those headphones, bro. Because sometimes I'm just confusing myself
Cause you hear
with that
yourself.
double talk. Now I don't have to worry about. But I'm trying to like listen to what I'm saying
Mhm.
and then catch up, and then it doesn't come out as well. So, but you're a great speaker, so you don't have to worry about that. But me, I have to focus.
I appreciate that, bro. All right. So I see Gene is in the comment section. Gene Alexander's. He laughed at us.
Oh, Gene did a great job in this movie as
Oh yeah,
well.
Gene is in
Gene
Southern
is in
Village.
Southern Village.
And he is also in the Peppermint Lady coming up.
Yeah.
He's the main star for episodes 4 and 5.
Coming out the Sunday.
The Sunday,
The
yeah.
Sunday.
So great film, you all. So 2 great projects from great people who have worked in the Pensacola community. So y'all run those numbers up because we gotta support local and we gotta support our local talent here. Because we do great things here. All right. But so you coming back to the headphones?
Yeah, cause so I can multitask.
Okay. All right. So no. So tonight, you all, we want to invite anyone who I don't know what this means. What does this mean? Oh, I don't know. So Gene is saying 1-9 with a whole bunch of asterisks, and then he also Uh, yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Okay, yeah, he's clicking in. Also, you all, we do want to tonight. We are celebrating our 10th episode of the Shot Callers podcast, and so we opened up the lines for anyone who is tuning in and wants to physically dial in and join live with us. We pinned 11.99. That's what he was trying to say. We have posted in our comment section a link. So feel free to click that link and dial in and chat with us and help us celebrate our 10th episode of the Shot Callers
10th
podcast.
episode.
They not like us. They not like us.
10.
9.
All right, but no. So tonight, one of our topics that we want to talk about and break down as far as in the podcast. So I mean, but definitely feel free to join in and we'll talk to y'all. We can just talk about anything film related. But some things that I wanted to share that I recently like have with working on projects myself started diving into that I really didn't know that much about until I started really editing and really trying to break down my films and scripts and started really paying attention to was color in film. And it really for myself, like looking into it, like I didn't understand or realize the impact that color has in films and how different films, depending on genres or like, emotions that are trying to be provoked within different genres, how color is so important. Did you, Yabui?
Yeah, it is so important. When I first started doing music videos, all I would do is just point the camera, record everything, edit it, and that's it. Maybe adjust the exposure, but just just to evoke more emotion and to get that mood. I mean, you really have to study color, doing LUTs and everything. And you're
Yeah.
probably gonna talk about all that stuff. So, the color has a drastic effect on what you're trying to portray.
Yeah, so like some movies that like when I really started looking into it, right, thinking like how color is really used in movies. Some examples that came across is like The Matrix, right? Like you really start to see like colors and you attribute it to the film. So like the Matrix, the Matrix is really known for just being what color when you think about the Matrix, you bully.
Green.
Yeah, green. And then like Moonlight, I bring it up often. It is really known for its color in like the blues is really it used a lot of blue hues in this film. And then like Fight Club, used a lot of oranges and like other movies really just kind of like have what they I would consider like a monochromatic type color scheme where they use like one color and then other people have different color palettes where they use like opposite colors of the spectrum. And so basically, yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit. Um and also like from an editing standpoint, right? Color grading. Like so a lot of times when a film is shot, right, for you all who are tuning in, a film is shot on what we call flat, which means like it is shot at the rawest content that it can be shot at, but also with like no colors or like no hues. So like a lot of the colors that you see in movies and TV shows and stuff are done in like a post edit session with like the editor. And sometimes outside of the editor, they'll have like a person that they call like a specific color grader. So like the editor may like edit the film and then they may like pass it on after the edit is done to like someone who color grades the film. And the color grader is basically like the person, and most of the times it's still sometimes like the same editor of the film. But a lot of times, like a color grader is someone who adds the color and really like puts the hues into the scenes that are being shot. Um, so like what is color grading defined by terminology? Color correction, making footage look natural or balanced. Color grading is creating manipulation of color to establish tone, mood, and style, right? And so like typically, like I said, this happens in post production, and like, but the ideas of the colors and stuff is really broken down before it gets to the editor by like a DP and the director. Like a lot of times, the director will have like a color scheme in mind, and will kind of like portray that to the DP. So like even as things are shot, or the DP, the art department, all of that. So as things are shot and as the set and stuff is being filled filled out with light and builds with like different props, like colors can kind of like already be in mind, right?
Exactly. But for our independent filmmaking, we have to do everything, you know?
Yeah.
You have to you send it to yourself. You make notes to your own self because you have to light it the way you want to do it. And there's no other department. Then you have to actually color it yourself. Yeah. So I wish we had departments to send it to help us out.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, yeah, that is true. Like a lot of times, uh, I will say like independently, I I do kind of take as a filmmaker color into effect a little bit, but it's not my main focus. However, um, I have started recently trying to focus more in on it. Um, but I feel like from the stuff that I worked on, a lot of my coloring comes in a lot more so from a post edit than from a pre-production edit, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. I understand because when you're actually shooting, you're limited on the location, so you can't really say, "Hey, I want to use this location for this color." You really just get what you get, and then try to fix it in the end to then
Hmm.
try to like. But I did see in the first episode of Peppermint Lady, you came in with a real yellowish tone in there. So, what was your thought process when you were when you came with that tone? Didn't you have hints of blue and
Y-
purple in the back to
y-
complement that yellow?
yeah, and so I wonder if we could pull it up like a color wheel, right? Hold on, I'm gonna see if we could pull it up. But like, so with the when I did the Peppermint Lady, right? The first episode like is really blowed out with lighting of like yellow, right? And so, uh, with that being said, a lot of times, um, no, this is good. You could pull this up, and I'll describe what your movie is pulling up. So for those who are listening to audio, um, a color wheel is just like basically like a rainbow of colors that shows like all the colors of the rainbows. And so a lot of times when you see lighting, for instance, right? Um, you'll do like bitones or tritones, and so you usually like mix the color of contrast from the opposite end, right? So, what your movie was just kind of saying was like for the first episode of the Peppermint Lady, um, we shot a lot of scenes that were blown out with the yellow light, right? To give a full light. But then we contrasted it with a lot of the blues, like little different hints of blues in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so one thing that I jump ahead a little bit here, want to talk about was how the colors have different emotions and stuff, right? And so with that being said, like I was saying, I kind of like looked into starting trying to like add color palettes into my work now. So yellow, each color has a different meaning and is used to evoke uh subconsciously emotion, right? So yellow orange, the emotion that it is known to bring forth is like a warmth, nostalgic moment, right? Like warmth and nostalgia, like and sometimes it could be like a sickness, which is like, like
Yellow fever.
fever.
I got you.
And so, but like with the episode in the first episode of the Peppermint Lady, like we meet the character. She's sitting on the couch and she is going through like a box of old things and like reminiscing, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
really like gave it to like that, okay, like this nostalgia. She's like really comfortable in it, right? But then when things kind of like picking up a little bit, right? Um we contrasted a lot of the yellow with blue, even though it's on like on the opposite end. And so the color blue for those tuning in when seeing the film is sometimes supposed to evoke like sadness or the feeling of isolation and like detachment, right? And so I wonder if we can possibly pull up the first episode of the Peppermint Lady, just so I can kind of like use it as a reference as well.
Yeah, sure. Give me just
Um,
a second.
yeah,
Pull that up.
and we could just mute it. But like in the episode, like to add along with the contrast of the yellow and the blues, right? You just type in the Peppermint Lady, it'll pop it right up. Um, but to contrast with the blue, like to give a sense of isolation and really build that into the scene, um, I shot wide to kind of like really like showcase and focus that the character in this sense of, I don't want to say like this sense
Here you
of
go.
our and you can just mute it. So like in the sense of danger that she kind of faces is alone. And so that's why I really shot kind of wide as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of skip ahead like 30 minutes or 30 seconds or so, like right there. A little further. A little further. All right. And keep going.
Hold
All
on,
right.
hold on.
So
Here.
oh, I'm sorry.
Now you good. You good. So you can go exactly
Yeah.
where you need
All
to
right.
go. Not
So
just use
like
the.
so now like all right, so uh what happened? All right, we good. I think we had a little technical issue. But we are still rolling live. Your buoy, your reactions being caught on camera. However, for those tuning in, still listening here, just focus on the screen. Um, so you see, like I have it kind of warm in sense, and so she's going through. She finds the Peppermint Lady, not the peppermint. She finds the old peppermint. She's really just good, but like half of her is kind of warm with the yellow, and the other half has like a little bluish, cooler tint to it, and so to give a sense of isolation, right? But then once we rewind and go a little wider, right? It's really warm, so it really turns from like a warmth to like kind of like a sickness to kind of like add like, okay, this is a little bit of like urgency, like not really urgency, but like something is off about this, right? Because But also, if you look within the scene, I kind of put little segments of
Mm-hmm.
blue in to kind of like contrast with the yellow.
So
So
that was actually planned.
that was planned.
Love
Yeah.
it, love it, love it,
And
love it.
so the blue, we have the blue Childish Gambino album cover, and then you see like even the lamps. Instead of going with uh a warmer
Matching.
tone, I went with a cooler tone to give it like a bluer sense, right?
I got
And
you.
so then kind of like once we open the door and we look outside the door in the scene when things really heighten up, you notice that the outside. We also did the
Pause,
blue.
pause, pause real quick. Let me grab the mouse real quick.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second. This camera. Your camera's off.
Oh.
All right, 1 second.
Also, Q is in the Ray Quinn Q is in the chat. He said color palettes are amazing. They are, and the more you get into it, the more interesting it really is. It really is crazy just how deep and psychological color plays into film. Gene said the peppermint lady breaking equipment. That may
Yeah,
be true.
bro.
Gene is no not new to weird things happening with us filming stuff on set. Funny story, we did a proof of concept film for upcoming feature coming up centered around Bloody Mary called The Proof. And during that time of filming, we had some
Oh, there's
weird
no cameras
experiences.
hooked up. That's the webcam. I'm sorry. 1 second.
All good.
Nothing's hooked up.
But no, again, thank you all for tuning in. We're just having a few technical problems. Um, your boy, you're still live though.
Okay, here we go. I'll be back.
All right. So also, if y'all are in the chat, I do want to reiterate while we are fixing a few technical problems. Uh, that if you would like to join the conversation live, click the link in that is pinned or in the comment section um on the Shot Callers podcast or Yabui's page as well. And you can join in and tap in and join this conversation live with us as we continue to celebrate our 10th episode of the Shot Callers podcast.
And if you would like to donate so we can have a studio for our own podcast instead of using my office, you can definitely do that.
We'll drop the cash out. All right, so let's come back to sharing the screen real quick, Yabui. All right, so I'm bringing the mouse back over real quick. Okay, so as I was saying, uh, she opens the door, right? And we also use the blue to kind of like contrast because it's nighttime to give a moonlight feel. But also when you look at the bigger picture of it, like the blueness adds like that feeling of like sadness and isolation, right? Which is like right now she's panicking. So we went from more of a warm feeling to like now like something is off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when we pause, you have like the color contrast of the yellow and the blue right there. You see how it's like the blue and the yellow kind of right there together. You really get that contrast of color palettes. Um, which now looking outside,
I love this.
you
I
really
love
see
that
like
shot.
that. You really see her.
And the way you frame that as well.
Um, thank you. That the opposite ends of the color palette. Um, hold on.
Oh,
I'm trying to move this all together. So then it's like some other opposite I'm pulling up examples, right? So other like opposite colors that you kind of see is like sometimes you see like blue and purple contrasting together. A lot of times you'll see like uh red and blue kind of contrasting together. Um, but a lot of times you'll get, like I said, like what they call like a bi-color, like where it's two of them to kind of use. But some movies, like we mentioned earlier, only use like a monochrome, which is like a monocolor that they use for color palettes. Which I thought we talked earlier. I want to bring this example up of just how like when we talked about the Matrix
Matrix.
using green, right? Everything within the Matrix has a green hue, and they use a lot of like green tones. And green, now that we're talking about, is used to really showcase the emotion of unease and artificially, like something if artificial, it feels green,
Oh, AI.
and greed as well. So like,
Oh, money.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so then you like the Matrix is green tinted, and then like another movie that like has a green, and it's I thought is really good, not monochromatic like the Matrix, but like uses green in it. Is the Joker movie as well. The
Oh,
Joker has
yes.
some really good color palettes that's used within it. I love that movie. I love how the color is used in it. But the green in that is used to kind of like, signify like urban grime, and like how like the sickly tension of just like the character and stuff. Um and then let me see what I got this mouse. Uh browse titles. Let me see. We are currently also showcasing examples of this by using Shot Deck. Shot Deck is used for stills in movies. Is also a great website to use when, for instance, with me, like say as a filmmaker or director, if I'm trying to use examples of different things to convey, uh, such things as like color palettes or mood boards or something that you all can use. It does come with a paid subscription. However,
I did subscribe to it because I couldn't get the trial to work,
you
so
can you
I
can
went in
some
and purchased it.
you can sometimes use a trial and make it work.
What
Uh
I love about Shot Deck as well is that if you're looking for a coffee shop, you can just type in coffee shop, and it'll give you coffee shops from a array of different of movies. And then not only does it give you the stills, it gives you the cameras that were used, what lens they used,
mhm.
and then it gives you all the color palettes. And then once you pick a color palette that you like, then it starts streamlining and looking through all the movies with that same color palette. So it just can give you some inspiration, and then also like Cabo was saying, mood boards, storyboards, and just get you started for preparation. I mean, I don't do preparation, but from what I hear, is pretty great. Just
But so what I'm showing now is like what if you all are tuning in and looking at the screen, it's like some stills. I'm using the example of moonlight, right? So contrary to the Matrix,
okay, okay. I thought you were talking about the vampire movie.
what
The
vampire?
moon, third moon, or
Oh, see, I don't know nothing about that.
okay, me neither.
Oh,
So I was like,
oh
okay,
no, this a movie called Moonlight, and so it's a great movie. Y'all check that out if y'all haven't seen it. It won an Oscar. Directed by Barry Jenkins, great director. He also recently directed Mufasa. I
was that
always
good?
wanted a brother, huh?
I haven't seen Mufasa.
It's good. It's good. But back to Moonlight. So, contrary to like The Matrix, which used like a green tinted film, um,
That's a gum.
oh, I didn't know what you were saying.
Sorry.
That used a green tinted film. Moonlight used this a blue tint, and so what we're kind of looking at now is like you can really see like throughout the film how like the color, like it has like a blue tint to it, how it was filmed, and it uses the color of blue a lot, uh which really, when you think about the character in Moonlight, the color blue signifies like the emotion of sadness and isolated, and the character, I know his name was like Little. He had like three different aliases in the movie as he grew up. but he was really like isolated in just society based off of like upbringing, I guess you could say. And so, however, you get that like that sense of the color uses and color palettes, right? So, while we're talking about that, uh, we can go full now. Bowie.
Go back to you.
Yeah, or us. I'm gonna
Go
just
back
break.
to you.
I'm gonna just break down like the other uses of color in films and stuff, right? So, some other colors that are used in film that convey emotions, right, is the color red, right? So, what do you think the color red means in film?
Sexy, evil, the devil,
So that's correct.
hooker, like
So,
red lipstick, hooker red shoes. Someone used to say that to me.
yeah, no, I all of that is kind of right. Yeah, so the color red is used to convey the emotions of urgency, passion, love, and violence. So all of that
Oh yeah,
is
love.
yeah. Yeah, I think you kind of said that all in the same sense. So yeah, and then yeah, all of that makes perfect sense. Another, let's see, we did red, blue, sadness, isolation, cool detachment. Yellow and orange is signifying warmth, nostalgia, and sickness, as I kind of broke down earlier. And then green is another color which we said unease, artificially, and greed, right? Um, but also like other concepts of like film and color when we think about color palettes and color grading is like the desaturation of films and like saturation, right? So like saturation a lot from being a photographer, but like saturation, like for those who uh are outside of filming and photography, because you we the colors kind of line the same with film and photography when you think about it. But saturation is really like, how would you describe it? How bright something is? Like, how would you describe saturation?
Just
Uh,
the intensity of the
yeah,
color.
yeah.
When I'm editing, I'm more of a, as far as photography, I'm more of a vibrance versus saturation.
Hmm.
It's just I like to keep colors like they are, but I guess the vibrance is more like the density of it versus how intense it is. The only way I can describe it.
Nah, I think that's perfect. Yeah. So yeah, just how intense it is. Um, so like some movies have a desaturated color where it's really like the color may be muted, um, and not that like bold, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
It's like very kind of, would you say faded? I wouldn't really go faded, but it's not as an intense color. But some movies are,
Like pastel is
yeah,
more faded, kind of just a hint. Like anything like apple, it's not intense. It's just a faded pastel ish.
yeah. I think that yeah, that makes sense. But like some movies are like desaturated in color, and the reason why like they are desaturated in color is really to like help give it more of a gritty feeler, because you take
Hmm.
away the warmth and you take away the color from it, so it gives it more like a gritty realism type feeling, or like a melancholy type feeling as well. Because like in film, when we think about like the emotions and what we see and stuff, like a lot of times, uh, brighter and warmer colors just make like they provoke like happier emotions. So when you kind of like desaturate or wipe that away, right? You take away the comfort of the color, right? And it adds more of like a gritty feeling and realism. Um,
Yeah, and with these new cameras that they have out, they're so clinical, so sharp, and all the colors are hitting. And sometimes you have to take that away, so you can, like you said, evoke more emotion. Because
mhm.
sometimes I desaturate the color, I add grain, and you add grain a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it just gives it a more organic feeling. Because these cameras are so good, so you got to kind of tone it down. Because that's why a lot of people like lenses with character
Oh yeah.
because it adds like little defects in the picture, so it gives it more emotion.
No, I agree. I agree. Um, and then let's see some other concepts that go along with color grading that I put on here is like how some movies have like color arcs, which is a film that shifts tone over time, right? Um, so like when you think about that, a prime example is The Wizard of Oz, right?
Oh yeah,
How it starts in like black and white and then it shifts to color. And other movies kind of do that, but not maybe not in a black and white the color aspect, but like depending on the mood or what is going on in the different scenes, it may have like the color tone may switch from like something that is like more of a desaturated, grittier tone to where out of nowhere everything's very bright and very bold and very colorful. Um, and so like when I was talking about earlier, like from me as an independent filmmaker, right, and how like I work with that on the level that I am now, right? Like some things that I was saying, like I take into consideration is like, all right, during production, like for example, with the example that I use, like think about like the colors that I'm gonna use, like what props I can use to kind of like use to bring out the color palettes, wardrobe, wall colors, props, natural lights, like all of those are kind of be used to kind of like use to really on the independent level build the feel of color palette and we can kind of like take into the thoughts of like what emotions I'm trying to convey and help pull that out,
exactly.
Um
Most of the time, I'm just worried if the people just show up. If you can just get the set and get on camera, we'll light you and we'll make it the best that we can. But sometimes, man,
that's true.
I think
We don't we can sometimes take the little things, especially on the independent level for granted. It's hard out here for filmmaker just trying to make money for his rent. No, I'm just talking. Uh, that was Cadillac Records.
oh yeah, yeah.
Did-
I love
oh,
that movie.
boo!
I love Cadillac Records.
You didn't even catch it. It's hard
Oh,
out here for filmmaker.
oh no, you talking about something
That's
else.
not Cadillac Records. What is that?
Oh
That's
my god, you don't even know, bro.
boom boom boom. I know. Give me some. What's the movie? That's so terrible. Cadillac Records is with
Oh.
Beyonce.
Yeah, that's with Beyonce.
Uh,
No, it's with what's his name? Spit
yeah,
that shit out.
with
Spit that
Terrence
shit out.
Howard. Why?
Yes.
I drew a blank.
It's in Memphis.
Whoop that.
Whoop that trick.
What's the name of the movie, peeps?
Whoop that trick.
It's about a pimp though. Now I'm on the podcast looking crazy, y'all.
Taraji.
It is. I'm looking it up now because I'm embarrassed at this point. Anyway, this is so funny.
3 6 Mafia's in it.
I know I could tell you.
I can tell you everything about it except for the title.
I'm looking at it. Hustle and Flow.
Oh yeah.
God, mayonnaise. Uh, yeah, no, yeah, it was a Hustle and Flow reference, but we're gonna go back to the topic here, right? So, um, what is one thing if you were trying to give a new filmmaker advice on how to like color grade their film? What would you tell them to do, your buoy?
First thing is
Hold on, real quick. So Gene came into the conversation. He said hustle and flow. He was trying to tell us. We weren't paying attention. But no, what advice would you give?
that Rex 709 correction.
What?
Rex 709
I don't know.
correction.
What is this?
That just takes your log footage and put it into that Rec 709 color space.
Break this down for the people in the back.
Now it's flat when you shoot log.
Uh-huh.
That's log 3, that's log 2, whatever. But you just drop that LUT on there and it just makes it, I guess, regular.
Oh.
And that's what I was doing before with my color grading. I would just color grade it myself, just make all the little adjustments,
Mhm.
and then slap the LUT on there, and then make some more adjustments. But it's somewhat the colors are a lot more vibrant and deeper if you go ahead and correct it to the Rec 709 color space, and then put your LUT on. That's what you're supposed to do, and then it looks better. But your color grading looks awesome, so you don't need to listen to me on this. But before, I
Look,
would
your
have.
booty, I don't know. And the people that are watching, y'all, I appreciate that, but I don't know what I be doing. I just be messing around until it look good.
We can actually do it real quick. Pass me the mouse, bro.
All right.
I pull up Final Cut.
Also, do you know what a LUT means? What LUT, L-U-T means?
Look up table.
You do know what it means. I did not. Not to say that I didn't expect you to know, but I didn't know what it meant. And so LUTs, like when you hear LUTs are like, for the people in the back, LUTs are filters that you can put onto your movies to give them a different color
I think
grade.
they're a lot more than filters. They're
I mean,
it's the way they take the color and manipulate it.
yeah,
They
but
don't just smack a. It actually recodes the color like digitally instead of just. It's not like an Instagram filter.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, for in layman's terms, yes,
Yeah.
a filter, but it recodes the color.
Your boy said I better put some respect on LUT's name around here.
Yeah, boom the shot, bro.
Boom in the shot. Boom.
All right, I'm gonna pull up Final Cut and then maybe show an example. If it doesn't shut down everything, you pull up something. Hello?
Oh yeah, no, we're here. Yeah, so your booty is really good at coloring stuff.
I'm not. I pretend to be, but
No.
go ahead and talk a little bit while I bring up a Final Cut.
So no, your booty is really good at coloring stuff. Like I said, I don't want to say I'm new to it, but I just like for the longest, let me just rewind to say this. Every person who works on the film has a specific role, right? And so a lot of people who work on film are very knowledgeable about the role that they play in making the film what it is, right? With that being said, uh you want to find people who are knowledgeable in things that you are not. And it is not necessarily your job to be knowledgeable in everything, but know your specific role that you're supposed to be doing on set, right? So, continuing on with the conversation, I, as an independent filmmaker, and I believe most independent filmmakers who are listening or who just are out here making films, as an independent filmmaker, you take on multiple roles, and so you have to learn how to do multiple tasks until you are permitted to be connected with individuals who know and are knowledgeable of the skills that you don't have. I'm saying all of this to say I had to teach myself how to edit and color grade, and so for me doing it, I have just been fortunate enough to like get some really good great mistakes happening that really worked out in favor, right? Unlike your buoy who knows the specs and who, as he just broke down to you, knows uh, the process to really find the color within the film, in which we will now soon beginning a small tutorial.
Just a second. Just keep rolling,
All
bro.
right, we're still rolling with it, but still. With that being said, when I really started to like think about the topic for tonight's section, and for the podcast, right? It is really just like we're kind of just scratching the surface here, but like color really has a very it's like books on just the psychology of color um and the in-depthness of how color is used at the just different dynamics to really evoke emotion and pull out things that we just as humans see all the time, but we just don't think about. And there's a lot of power in just the use of color. And so when I really, like I said, mentioned earlier, like when I really started like kind of like picking up on that, I really tried to start using it. Another example that I didn't show tonight, which you all can go and shameless plug to the Forest Studios page and see that I used the color for was, and your boy, you worked on this project with me, was the use of the color in Sweet Dreams. You remember when we shot Sweet Dreams, the proof of concept trailer?
Yes.
So when I shot Sweet Dreams, I really wanted to use the color blue and purple, which I did not tell you all what purple meant in film. I'm looking it up real quick so I can break that down for y'all and well. So purple, the color purple is used in film to create a ethereal and dreamlike or mystical atmosphere, right? And so in this trailer that me and Yabui shot called Sweet Dreams, it's like I said, proof of concept trailer. Y'all go to the Force Studios page and check that out. But it's centered around like a dream state. And so I wanted to use like the sense of purple and blue to really pull that out. And so the character, he's kind of like having a out of body nightmare experience. And so I used the color purple to like give that dreamlike sense, but I mixed it in with blue, which is kind of like contrast to it on the color wheel, but also to invoke that feeling of like isolation and sadness into it.
Hmm.
Um, so it's pretty cool to check that out. All right, hold on real quick. Are we ready for you, boo?
Yep. I'm ready. Here we go.
All
All
right.
right, so let me go ahead and switch to Final Cut real quick, and then I'll show what I'm talking about. So,
All right. So he's coming towards y'all now.
here we go. Okay.
Flip the camera
So,
on you.
okay. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. All right, so what I shoot this in is S-Log 3. I use a Sony A7S III. Used to shoot movies, used to shoot everything since 2020. So let me try to expand this a little bit. Oh shoot. All right. So, excuse me. Shooting this in S-Log 3. Basically what you're doing is you're trying to get the most dynamic range out of your camera. So it's gonna be flat like this. And before, what I used to do is I used to just go in here and go into the color and add a little LUT to it like this. Boom. And what I used to do is just go in here and if you look up here, I just have LUT. Now I just go in here and just pick a LUT. So I would just have LUTs in here, and like this one, I go in here, same color. We're talking about opposite, I guess complementary colors.
Mm-hmm.
So teal and orange is super
Oh yeah.
popular. So teal and orange, boom. So all I used to do is just put this in here like this before. Now just make the little contrast adjustment here and then color it. See? Then that would just add your little color to it. Boom, boom. Take the LUT off, LUT on, LUT out after. But what you can do, what you're supposed to do, I mean, you can do anything you want, but now what I do is instead of just slapping the LUT on there, what I do is I correct it for Rec 709. And this guy here, Pike from DSLR Shooters on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
he has a free LUT that converts your Sony cameras or any camera from log into a Rec 709 color space. So it gets you just like, I guess, back to neutral. So it actually adds the color back in.
Wow.
Like going here. So this Pike Rec 709 conversion, 2 stops over. And I always use this skin 2 conversion, and boom. So it adds this on here as the contrast and everything back on there. So you do have to make the little adjustments. Like that. Then I go and add the LUT on there along with that Rec 709 conversion. An orange, and boom. So it's a lot more saturated. It's a lot more rich. Now, this shooting situation here was really bright. It was outside. It was like, I don't know, 3 p.m. So the sun was coming in. I mean, there was no additional lighting. So you just had nothing but harsh lighting. But when you light it yourself, you can really see the effects of converting it to Rec 709 and then adding that LUT on there just to make your color a lot better. So it does, as you can see, I take all this stuff off. Boom. You have the log footage. Add your color correction or a little contrast. Boom. You add your Rec 709 conversion. Boom. And then you add your LUT. Boom. See that blue really pop.
Yeah. And so, yeah, what Yabu is showing us is just how LUTs can really add color into the scenes. But then, so for you all who are watching visually, you can really see like what, go to it without the LUT real quick, Yabu.
Okay, go back.
Like what we were saying, an example of what it looks like when a cinematographer, a DP, or whoever is shooting with their camera, how they shoot with what we call flat, how it really is just a image with no color. Like the colors are very minimal in the actual scene of what is being shown. And but by going through and color grading, as we've talked about tonight, you can really go through and find the depth of the color and really bring it out in whatever sense that you know are trying to portray.
Yeah, and this is more of an event, so you really don't have control over the lighting. You just show up and then like, hey, shoot this. So I can't really bring in powerful lights. When you're shooting like films and everything, you can really plan for the lighting, so you know exactly what you need to do to light it. But in this case, it's kind of run and gun. You kind of point it in the right direction and try to, as you can see right here, you try to you expose for the skies. That's the last thing you want is overexposed skies. So you try to expose for the skies, and then you go from there, because you can't really, because as you see here, this is like in this whole baby area, all these balloons, it's in the shade, and then you have this super bright spot up here on the left, and then everybody's front lit, so you get in the shadow side here, so everybody's dark. So you just really have to work with what you have when you're shooting these type of events. Whereas in filmmaking, you really can plan for each little detail as far as the lighting is concerned. So
Yeah. Thank you so much, Yabui, for breaking that down
Yes,
for
sir.
us. Like I said, as we kind of went through tonight, it's so much that can really be brought out, and we may soon, come back and revisit this topic in more depth on more psychological feel of color as we go on with different episodes of the Shot Callers
real
podcast.
quick, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Ronald Franklin, super dope photographer
yay.
and videographer. What's up, bro?
Thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining in.
I don't know who that was, but what's up?
I think it's recent.
All right, and then he's actually on YouTube, so that's what's up. We got one follower on YouTube.
Oh, hey. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good, man. Uh, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, like I said, people, we bring yourself to screen. We were just kind of like I said, bringing and wrapping things up for tonight. Really, as we went
Which you want
into
me to bring up?
you. But yeah,
Okay, what's up?
you had me all over here. Just no, I'm just talking trash. But nah, you know what? Hey, when we think about it, I was like, man, man, I was on screen by myself, right? But you see the blue hues, right? So what we was talking about with the color palette, blue gives that sense of sadness and isolation. So that's what I was kind of feeling
Oh,
while I was just taking up the screen by myself tonight. I'm just talking, but no, seriously,
blue's my favorite color. I think it
mine
stands
too,
for
really.
cool, calm, collected, like the ocean, the sky.
I agree. I feel like it's multiple meanings for different colors, but it all goes to like how it can be or whatever you're trying to portray within film, right? Because I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, some blues that are in film that I don't know. I was trying to think of an example of a movie that uses the color blue that is happy
Moana.
because of the ocean.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess so. I can see that. That's a good one. Maybe.
No, it's not an
It's,
example.
it's
And it's
terrible. I
animated.
just tried to give that to
That's
you.
terrible.
Boom in
Boom
the
the shot.
shot. Um, but no, so yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be trying to deep dive. I think tonight's episode went really well. I thank you all for tuning in with us to learn about how color is used in film and to to learn and hear about just the breakdown of everything. Yeah, any final thoughts or anything you want to share?
My final thought is let's show this out because we had some technical difficulties tonight. So I'm gonna take this camera real quick and they can see our setup because yes, if you would like to donate to the Shot Callers Podcast Studio,
No, seriously.
let me just show some setup here. Look, I have this camera set up focus for filmmakers and this thing focus. Look, I got it on a box right there. Cameras got all this slew of wires over here. See all these connections, all these wires. I got like every single port plugged in so we can get the show to go. All the lenses, try to move all this stuff around. See, this is all the stuff you don't see. If you'd like to donate to the Shot Callers podcast, we do have the gear. We just need space so we
Mm-hmm.
can look a lot more professional. Let me just go handheld with you, bro. You can go ahead and get them final thoughts. Get you in
Um,
focus. There you go.
so for
Boom.
my final thoughts, all right. So
Go handheld.
my final thoughts, which are brought to you by Chat GPT, are y'all ready? Color isn't just how your film looks; it's how your audience feels. Whether it's bold or stylized or subtle or natural, your color choices are just as important as your script. Learn to use color like a storyteller, not just a technician. You are the artist.
Snaps.
All right.
My final thoughts coming off my dome. The color purple. Go see it. It's a great movie.
It is.
Yeah. That's it,
All
bro.
right. All right. Well, yeah. Again, we thank y'all for tuning in tonight for the Shot Callers podcast, where we call the shots, break them down, and more. So we'll be back again for episode 11 next week. This is the 10th episode of the Shot Callers podcast. And we love it here. We love it. And so we love you all. Be sure to share with a friend. Also, take us on the road. Apple Podcast, Spotify. You can listen to this episode later on tonight. And if you're listening to it now, share it with a friend and join us again next week. Peace out.
Later. It's kind of difficult to do the camera and do So, but let's get it.
10, 9, 8, 7,